And yeah, oh, okay. That was weird. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. And yeah, I have been getting a lot of questions again since coming back home from Japan, so I thought that I would put together a Q&A and answer all y'all's questions. So let's get right into it. So first question is, what was your favorite place to go in Japan? Ooh, there are a lot of places that I went to, but if I were to choose, probably my favorite place, can I add an S? Like, can I places? Like, it was probably my Kansai trip, and if you haven't already watched that, I will link it somewhere here, somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, I did go to Kansai during my winter vacation. I went to 3 prefectures. I went to Kyoto, Osaka, and Mie. I did pass by Kobe on a train going everywhere, and I passed by another prefecture just by the train. Honestly, I recommend, if you were to go see Japan, or you know, to visit places, to just go on a train and just look at all the beautiful scenery. It was honestly amazing. I went to those 3 prefectures and I just had bomb-ass food. I had a bomb-ass time. Everything was so great, and I probably came back 3 pounds heavier than I did when I left Tokyo. So yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite places to go in Japan. Next question was, what did you eat in Japan, and what was your best meal in Japan? Now, if y'all don't already know, I did mention in my previous Q&A that I do have a seafood allergy, so sushi and takoyaki and all that kind of fun stuff was a no-go for me. So my go-to was probably a lot of bar food. Karaage was definitely one of my favorites. Karaage and yakiniku, a lot of yakiniku. Kushikatsu was one of my favorite things that I had when I was in Kansai. Deep fried anything. I deep fried cheese, like, oh my god. Another thing that I really liked probably was the time I went to an okonomiyaki restaurant with my coworkers, and we had this sort of omelet. I'm not sure. It had obviously egg and corn. It had mochi and just cheese, and oh my god, it was so good. But my favorite meal, probably hands down, do you guys know taco rice? If y'all don't know, it's an Okinawan like specialty. So it's basically like, you think of your taco, but instead of a shell, it's rice. But instead of that, I had taco rice yakisoba. So I did have a video of me going out to eat. I did have taco rice yakisoba. It was the best thing. Oh my god, it was so good. Like, y'all thought yakisoba was great. Like, taco rice yakisoba was on another level. Like, bless, thank you so much. Oh yeah. Next question is, what were working conditions like in Japan? Now, overall, I felt like because I was a foreigner and because I was still a student, I felt like they didn't really pressure me into a lot of, I don't know, like, maybe pressure isn't the right word, but because I was foreign, they didn't really expect me to do a whole lot. So like, basically all they really wanted me to do was to have fun with the kids and interact with the kids and just, you know, be myself and just enjoy as much as I could on the internship, as much as possible. But I mean, as far as working conditions go, I did have a contract with my company and I did have to abide to those rules, but I mean, it wasn't anything drastic, or super extreme. So I mean, yeah, like, I hope that answers your question. Shout out to Milky Jugs for that question. And another question from Milky Jugs was, did your Japanese improve and how? And honestly, yes and no. Like, I would say that my listening and comprehension definitely improved so much while I was there. Like, no doubt about it. My speaking, somewhat. I mean, I was speaking Japanese every day, but no one was really there to correct me if I made a mistake, grammatical error, anything like that. So I feel like speaking wise, it might have maintained the same. I mean, I probably did pick up grammatical quirks and whatnot when listening to other people, but other than that, it's not the same as when you would study in a textbook and you know that, okay, this is this and that is that. Other than that, reading and writing, honestly, never really did much of it. Reading more so than writing, but still the fact that my kanji was absolute, like, my kanji, honestly, sorry sensei, but my kanji sucks, so yeah, honestly, that's probably a thing that was an issue as well, because I couldn't read a lot of the kanji. Honestly, Google Translate, like the picture thing, when you take a picture and then you can just like highlight the kanji, that honestly saved my life for most of my trip, like, honestly. But also, like, the thing is, like, my internship, it was really short in my opinion, 3.5 months, and like for the most of it I was just really kind of getting into speaking Japanese every day and like getting used to Japanese, and by the time I was really comfortable going out and using my Japanese and speaking Japanese, like 3 months was already up and I had to go home, and that was just honestly the really sucky part about it, because like there was so much more to learn, but like given my time frame, like I just had to go home. So 3 things I miss about Japan. Does it just have to be 3? Like, there's so many more things I want to talk about. Number 1, I miss the food. Y'all already know Japan food is the bomb. I crave okonomiyaki, monjayaki, teppanyaki, like, all the time. Like, and it sucks because like here in Vancouver, like, yeah, we have a lot of sushi restaurants to choose from, but like sushi isn't the only Japanese food out there, and like especially for me, like I have a seafood allergy, like sushi ain't gonna do shit for me. So like I miss the food, definitely. Number 2, I miss the transit system. Like I miss the JR line, I miss the subway, I miss the bullet train. Like damn, like transit system was amazing, and coming back home to the suburbs here, it just made me realize like wow, like it is so hard to get around without a car. And like it was just, in Japan, like I could go from Tokyo to Osaka like no problem, don't need a car, don't need a plane, just the train, and it was like super convenient. Honestly, Japan's transit system was super convenient. Wow, like what I would do to go back. And lastly, I miss my workplace and I miss my kids. Now you probably think like, wow, like you miss like the babies that were crying every day, and like yeah, I do miss the babies. I did spend so much time with my kids. Like I lived in the daycare, if you didn't already see my house tour, and I would wake up to babies crying, and like sometimes I'd fall asleep to babies crying, and that was honestly fine. And just spending so much time with my kids for like consecutively, like 3 months, you get to know like your kids, and like you get to play with them, and just you grow with them, and just the fact that I'm not with them anymore, and it's just, I miss my kids. I want to go back. Now Chia Bomber asks, what would you have done differently if you could go again? And oof, that is a tough question. I mean, my experience was really memorable for me because 1, that was my first time ever being in Japan, and 2, that was just a taste of what I would be doing as my future career. So like the fact that that is what happened to me, and that was my own personal experience, I just like, I wouldn't want to say I would want to change anything, but if I could, probably I would have studied more, honestly. Like, I mean, coming to Japan and not knowing any Japanese, like that's fine. Like you can totally do it. It'll just be hard, but you can totally do it. But for me, I felt like because I was so, like I lacked in reading kanji, and like just my speaking wasn't really adequate enough, I felt like that kind of really hindered me from going out more and like doing things that I would have done. And if I did study more, if I really practiced more, probably I would have, like, not to say I didn't enjoy my time when I was there, but I probably would have enjoyed it to the fullest extent. I don't know if that makes sense, but that, and if I were to go back again, probably I would have budgeted myself a lot better. Like I mean, I could blame the situation on not having a kitchen, but I did go out to eat a lot, and that could have been so much money saved for going shopping and other things. And like, I don't know, it was just, yeah, I had to do adult things, and I had to really like narrow down like what I needed and what I didn't need, what I just wanted. And like, yeah, that was, I would probably budget myself better, but now I know for the future. So, and a very popular question that everyone has been asking me, from my friends to my family to people on social media: will you go back to Japan? What are your future plans involving Japan? And while I was in Japan, I was giving it a lot of thought. I was thinking like, wow, I don't want to leave. I want to stay here forever. It was great. And I mean, I still have my student and my working visas available back home, and I was honestly thinking about doing another year exchange here, not here, but like going back to Japan, maybe doing it with my university again. I really thought about it, and I'm not sure 100% just yet, but I want to save those for probably the right time, and I feel like coming back straight from Japan and going back to Japan again probably is not the best time. Like, I'm not financially ready, and I need to finish school first, or at least get a good amount of school done. And honestly, as much as I love Japan, I do want to use my visas and experience a different country, experience a different culture. Like, there's just so much for me to see out there, and I mean, Japan will always have a very special place in my heart. So as of right now, probably not, at least until I graduate. I'm not thinking about going back until I graduate. So yeah. Okay guys, we're almost done with this Q&A. Like, I got a couple questions to go. But yeah, what was the most memorable thing about your trip? Now, there were so many memorable things about my trip. Like, I would say the entire experience was really memorable. But if I were to choose, it would probably be New Year. New Year in Japan was something phenomenal. It was amazing. Nothing I've ever experienced before. Being Canadian, you know, New Year isn't really a thing. Like, yeah, you probably go to the club, hang out with friends, whatever. Once it hits 12, you know, kiss your significant other. That's it. Like, Happy New Year. But in Japan, like, people go home, they see their family, they eat for days and days and days. Oh my god, the food was so good. If y'all didn't check out my Snapchat at the time, I was having a feast from like 5 in the morning until like the next day. I don't even know. New Year is not just one day. New Year is like celebrated for 3 days straight. Like, I was having sake first thing in the morning. Like, they were like, hey, give the Canadian girl some sake, like, you know, Happy New Year, you know, you're the chicken, you're the bird, like, yeah, like. But yeah, just the whole experience of New Year itself was so different, and it was super memorable, and I was just so thankful that I had to spend my New Year with my friend and her family back in her hometown. It was just such a great experience to really feel what Japanese New Year is really like, and not, you know, just celebrating New Year by yourself. But just, it was very warm, family oriented, and just, it involved a lot of eating, and we already know how much I love eating, so yeah. And last question. So the last question is, what will you be doing from here on out? Now, as you already know, I mentioned in my update that I am back to school. Unfortunately, in my contract with my internship, it stated that you gotta go straight back to school, so that's what I did. I'm straight back into school, back to working for me as well. And yeah, like, I'm really trying to do my best with YouTube. I know, like, I've really lagged with uploading and editing my videos. I'm so sorry. But I want to continue doing YouTube. I will see what kind of content I want to do on this channel from here on out. But yeah, I mean, as far as exchanges and trips will go, I gotta give that some thought, because I'm kind of broke, so let's be real here. I gotta work to go back to Japan or anything. But yeah, like, small trips for sure here and there, but probably nothing as big as Japan anytime soon. Maybe not until I graduate, at least. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing for, you know, from here on out. And that's a wrap for the questions for my second Q&A this time around. Thank you so much for all of you who have submitted your questions, and hopefully that answered your questions. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!